Hello, everyone. Welcome. Trying to adjust my background. Dr. Andi with Animal Magic Care here. And it's not Tuesday night live, it's Tuesday afternoon live. So I am mixing it up and welcome. I have a new background. Trying to find a new spot to do these from. So welcome today. It is a live Q&A. So first time here all the time. Maybe you couldn't make it 6 o'clock and now you can make it 3 o'clock. I don't know. I might be mixing it up, but this worked out really well with my schedule today. And I have a hard stop at 3:30. I have a client. So we're going to do that. But if you have a question, hey, about anything, that's really broad, I know. But I am a doctor of chiropractic, and I am a certified animal chiropractor in the state of Colorado in the U.S., and I have been in clinical practice for over 20 years. I specialize in dogs. I adjust dogs, yes. And everything I have learned from my clients, let me tell you, right? Fascinating things. I learn the best stuff from my clients. So none of this is veterinary advice. I'm not a veterinarian. You need to speak with your veterinary professional about your specific case. But let's use some common sense, and maybe this will spur an idea in you, an impetus to go look up more stuff, all that jazz. So as you hop on, pop in the questions over here. And as etiquette depicts these days, right? Remember when answering machines were new, right? And everybody would, leave your name, number, and a brief message, and we'll get right back to you, right? And after a while, years, it was like, you know what to do. So you're on social media, you're on YouTube, you know what to do, right? The bells, the whistles, the thumbs up, all of that, proper etiquette. Let's rock the algorithms. Let's get some this information out to your friends, to your family, to others out there in the world. So please. And we'll go from there. Okay, so I did have something I wanted to talk about as we wait for some questions to come in, if they come in. A health journal for your pet. I don't talk about this very much, but it kind of dawned on me that maybe I should start talking about it more. Because what we need to do as humans is write stuff down. And you do hear me say a lot, take pen to paper, especially if you think something just is going to cost you too much money when it comes to your pet, like raw feeding, right? We talk about that a lot. I talk about that a lot with Dee Dee Mercer-Moffat, the CEO of Raw Dog Food and Company, on her podcast, Raw Dog Food Truth podcast. I butcher it every time. I always apologize to Dee Dee. But we are there talking about stuff every Monday morning. Pen to paper. So a health journal for your pet. So your pet is going through something. Symptoms have shown up. We are, as I'm a chiropractor, let's go with limping. Okay. Lameness. Let's say we are limping in the front and we noticed it one day and then it cleared up for a little bit. Now it's back a little bit more. And on this day, they went to jump out of the car and just landed on their face, like just did not catch themselves, whatever reason. Maybe they saw a squirrel, maybe they saw their favorite person. They just lost their footing because they're old, they're seniors, and they were having a good day and thought they could do it and didn't quite pull it off. Get something to write on. Now, can that be an app? That can be an app. Is it maybe notes? In like with my Gmail, I have a notes, a task section. Maybe you turn one of those into, on this date, this happened on this date. This happened with Spot. Okay. Write it down. Now I prefer pen to paper. Remember those old calendars? I actually meant to grab it where it had a square for every day, right? The whole month was right there. Usually the top part was a pretty picture, and then the bottom part was all the squares, the days of the month, right? And I don't know if you're like me, but my mother ran the family on that thing. Like if it wasn't on that calendar, it did not exist, right? Long before we had the internet. Get one of those, especially if you have something chronic going on with your animal. If you have a diagnosed disease of Cushing's or Addison's or pancreatitis, get pen to paper. Get a calendar like that. It doesn't have to be the big ones, but something with those little squares, and you write down what's going on with your animal every day. Come up with a 1 through 10 scale. 10 being an awesome day, 1 being, oh my gosh, is this their last day? Or whatever scale you want. And if that's the only thing you write down for that day, put a 2 down, put a 7 down, so you have an idea. Put down vet appointments. If you are going through cancer treatment with your pet, if that's something you choose to do alternatively or conventionally, write down the days you have treatment. Write down how they were before and after treatment. Write down the changes over the next couple days. Because, folks, our memories are terrible. They're terrible. I know this because my memory is terrible. I know this because I try to gather history out of clients every single day. What happened? How long ago? Oh, it was maybe honey, and they talked to the husband or whoever came with them or whatever. Right? Do you know what? Maybe 2 weeks ago. So has it been going on for 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Is this the first episode? Is this the second episode? Oh, let's go back to our limping example. We don't remember. We have a really bad memory. It's a really bad memory, folks. So, a health pet journal. You don't have a calendar. You can do an app. Hey, an app is going to be much better. You're not going to remember it as well because despite not teaching kids how to handwrite anything anymore and all of our shortcuts through text and all that, we're going to remember things a lot better if you actually write them out. Okay. But put them down on an app so you at least have this date, this happened, this date, this happened. But what I really like about the calendar is you can see the whole month, right? You can tell, oh, it was actually 11 days ago that they fell out of the car. And it was that day they were limping bad, not bad the next day, and it got really bad the day after that. You probably won't remember those details if you didn't write it down. And of course, until you get into a habit or a rhythm of this with your animals or a animal, you're not going to have it on hand for when the dog falls out of the car. Okay, it's not going to be on hand. That's okay. I'm putting this in your head now that maybe they fell out of the car and they have not been feeling very good lately. When was that? Oh, that was 3 days ago. Oh yeah, Dr. Andi said to do a health journal. Cool. I have this calendar that I got from the bank. I don't even know why they gave it to me. It was so stupid. Pull it out. They fell out 3 days ago, so write that down. And start from there. Start where you're at. But if you're going to go through a big treatment plan, pancreatitis, cancer, surgery, folks. If you're going to go do a CCL surgery or you're going to go do a spinal surgery, start writing down today. Okay. So you can get online. I bet you could. I don't know. I haven't actually done this, but go find a blank calendar, just squares. And you could write August in there and put all the dates you need to, and just have a piece of paper. Tape it up somewhere, put it somewhere where you can, on the nightstand, maybe nightstand before you go to sleep, on a clipboard. I still have things on clipboards. And write down that day. If you don't want to do the blocks, get a piece of paper, pen, and buy the nightstand and write the date and do it that way. I like the blocks, right? I don't know the calendar days, because you can see patterns much easier that way. You can see patterns that you are not going to see on your app unless you can go ahead and then print it out and go through it. And these patterns might lead you somewhere. Like, we're having great days when it's not 100 degrees. But when it's 100 degrees, we don't feel good. Oh, I hadn't noticed that because we've had so many hot days. But we had these couple cool days over here and they were doing really good. They had 7s those days. But on these 100, I'm giving them 3s. So we're not feeling so good with the heat. So maybe they're not sicker. Maybe there's nothing else wrong. Maybe they're having a hard time with the weather. And it's just something that you can make a note of, you can be aware of. You could then help them with that. Cooling beds, cooling jackets, cooling scarves. Maybe they don't walk those days. And that's what you use your pet health journal. Oh, we walked in the heat, did poorly. We're now at 2 out of 10. Stayed in all day, we hovered around 5 out of 10. Arbitrary, I'm making it up, but it'll start to give you an idea of how to handle each day. Because every day is different, every pet's different, every age is different. But this might give you an idea. And then you can take that to when you add in another practitioner, another veterinary practitioner. If that's a veterinary cannabis counselor, it's a massage therapist, it's a chiropractor for your pet. Now you have this. Okay. I do have one client that comes in with her black lab and she just has a journal. She just has a lined little book and she writes everything down in it. Ad nauseum, actually. And that's awesome. And she can go back and look. So I do appreciate that. So I just wanted to start bringing this concept up a lot more. And part of that, even with my pack, is so I would start utilizing the tool more. I really, probably for my senior guy, he's 15 and a half. We actually have a vet appointment next week because he's starting to really decline. He's just getting a lot slower. He's having more hard cognitive days where he's just kind of standing there staring at cabinets and not really moving. And then the next day he'll be running around like a damn fool. And so I'm talking to you about this going, oh yeah, I should probably do that for him. Are we in treatment? No. Are we super senior? Yeah. Do we have good days and bad days? And are we on what I call the senior roller coaster? The senior dog roller coaster. Oh my goodness, I could talk about ad nauseum. I haven't in a while on here, so maybe we'll revisit it. But it's this, right? Good days, bad days. Are we having a great day? Are we having a bad day? And this is why I need to pull this out for myself. Because is there a pattern I'm not seeing? He's having a really rough day today, but my husband was out of town last night. Does that stress him out that dad didn't come home? Maybe. And if I start marking all those days on my calendar in my health pet journal, I might see a pattern. I might not, but I don't know until I can see it. But us peoples, really bad memory. And we tend to miss things if we don't take pen to paper. All right. So if you're just like, I'm not doing paper, get something on your phone that you can write in. Okay. The rest of us, I need a piece of paper to see this, right? I need to see if there's any patterns I'm missing with my senior guy and really start marking down his, how he's doing on a day-to-day basis. And I will use that scale 1 to 10 and maybe there'll be a lot of information on some days and very little on others. But I do think it's an important tool that I wanted to throw into everybody's world today so you can mull it over. Maybe you rush out, maybe you grab that calendar, maybe you get started on it, maybe you don't, maybe I'll remember all the things. And maybe you won't. So I want to thank everybody for being here live. And I want to thank everybody that catches this on the replay. I still rather use the term rerun, but it's a replay. I know. And let me know in the comments below. Have you done this in the past? Has it shown patterns to you? Has it been useful, or did you find it a waste of time? Would love to hear from you down below. And of course, our proper etiquette with the thumbs up or thumbs down. And you might, if you're up for it, you might want to hit the subscribe button. I have a feeling my lives might be all over the place. I think I'm just going to see how they fit into my schedule and how often I can hop on here and chat with y'all. And actually, if you're not here, if you're on the replay and you have a question, put the question down below. I'll bring it up on the next live, or I'll answer it here, or we'll do both. Would love to hear from you. And I will see you all when I see you again. You are on the Animal Magic Care YouTube channel. This is the mostly live Tuesday Q&A without any cues today. But I wanted to talk about the Pet Health Journal. There you go. Or the Health Pet Journal. You can go either way, huh? And start implementing that in your pet's lives and see what comes to light, right? Oh, it'd be a great time is to start one when you transition to raw. If you go from kibble to raw, you've been, that transition is to be a great time to have your 30 days of your Health Pet Journal and mark the bowel movements, mark how your animal's feeling, mark what their coat is looking at, mark whatever on it. That would be a fantastic time. So you don't have to be sick. You could just be doing a transition, whatever that may be. Okay, my friends. All right. So grateful for y'all, and I will see you when I see you at the next live Q&A. We have so much coming down the pipes. We're working really hard at getting the community all put together and set up. Probably bare bones in the beginning, and then you'll get more details about that, especially if you head over to animalmagiccare.com and get on the email list. I try to get content out most every week. Lately, it's been very chiropractic in nature. Sometimes it's a lot more diet. Sometimes it's just random fun facts. But we are working on that. And until next time, how much fun can you have with your animals? Bye-bye.